Hello, my name is Reed Mahan, and my essay was on the evolution of human endocrine gland production. So, endocrine glands, basically, they're sweat. They're essentially sweat glands that release water to help animals cool down in hotter environments. Many animals have endocrine glands, such as mice and other primates. However, humans are unique in the fact that they have extremely high density endocrine glands that give us a massive sweating ability to help us cool off, and it's always been a unique trait that humans have had. Discovering how this trait has developed can give us an idea of how humans or proto-humans adapted to their environment many millions of years ago to eventually lead to modern humans. So hair and endocrine gland density. Um, a study was done that reviewed the skin samples of chimpanzees, macaques, and humans. And from that research, the following conclusions could be made and were made. The first one was that humans and chimpanzees actually have the same amount of hair density on their body, just even though humans appear to be hairless. And what this basically means is that chimpanzees obviously have very visible fur, but in the areas of where visible fur would be on humans is actually still there. It's just the hairs are either transparent or microscopic. And so it appears that we're hairless, but in fact, we're actually not. And the second point that was made is that chimpanzees and macaques actually have the same amount of, basically the same endocrine gland density, leaving humans to be the outlier in their massive amounts of density in endocrine glands. Basically, what this means is that this kind of disproves the idea that chimpanzees are like the phenotypic middle link between old world monkeys and humans for the sweating trait. And it suggests that our sweating ability is something that we developed independently from the rest of the primates and even chimpanzees. Well, kind of. The problem with that is that when we look on a deeper genetic level, we actually see something a little bit different, And what we see is that all animals who sweat generally have an EN1 transcription factor. And basically what this does is that it controls how much an animal sweats or has the ability to develop endocrine glands. And however, a specific enhancer in humans called the HECE18 was discovered to be incredibly potent in affecting the endocrine gland production in the EN1 transcription factor, basically making it to where there was a lot of sweat glands developed. Other primates also have this other variants or similar versions of this ECE18, but they're not nearly as effective as developing the endocrine glands as the HECE18. And what they actually saw was that the old world monkeys and the new world monkeys, they all had relatively low potency in their ECE18s. However, when you got to more monkeys that are genetically more similar to humans, such as chimpanzees, you saw how their ECE18 actually rose and was more potent and produced had the ability to produce more endocrine glands. And of course, when you get to humans, the most potent of all, you can come to the conclusion that the ECE18 in primates has actually evolved over many thousands of years to specialize specifically in sweating for humans, as they also began to evolve, supporting their idea that our sweating ability actually did originate in primates in some form, in some basis, became the basis, but it became more specialized and more potent as humans continued to evolve over time. And so another thing that the researchers did, Aldia and et al., is what they did is they isolated the HECE18, which is the enhancer that is present in humans. They isolated that and transferred it over to mice. And the interesting thing about this is that the mice actually began to show an increase in their endocrine gland production on their foot pads, which is where mice tend to sweat. And it potentially shows that the HECE18 enhancer will express itself as long as there is an EN1 transcription factor that it has the ability to enhance. And so what all of this essentially can boil down to is that what we essentially know of how sweat evolved in humans is that it was likely that the loss of visible fur, and the increase in sweat glands came about because it was a way to help proto-humans adapt to a hotter environment and increase their ability to lose heat so they could stay cool longer. And the ability to sweat also seems to come as a result of the mutation of the ECE18 enhancer gene that we talked about that is present in all primates, sort of suggesting rapid mutation that allowed us to specialize in sweating. Of course, there's still much we don't know, such as we don't have the access to these proto-humans to analyze exactly uh, the specific genetics of their sweat and how they sweat and their density of the sweat glands. However, this all answers some questions specifically on how humans came to be so good at sweating. And here are my references. Thank you.